Hey guys, Savon RF, aka Mr. Sublime here. Well, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well, having a lovely day today. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, in this video, I figured we'd do something a little different, and I just had to cover this. I wanted to give my thoughts on the nominees for the upcoming Game Awards that will take place on December 11th, which is pretty soon, actually. It's crazy to think about that. We're already at the end of the year. This year flew by so quickly, but this was an incredible year for games. I think it's safe to say. And I wanted to react with you guys to the nominees, but also kind of give you guys my picks, what I would vote for, as well as what I predict will win. So yeah, it's always a fun time when the Game Awards are around, because not only do we get to talk about our favorite games of the year and kind of recap the whole year, but also because usually, and I say usually, not all the time, but usually Jeff Keighley also likes to show some world premieres at the show, at the event. And so it's always an exciting time for games because we get new games revealed, or we get more reveals related to games that have already been announced but that are highly anticipated. And obviously the most anticipated award show for games this has become the Oscars for gaming, right? The Emmy Awards for gaming. And it's always fun and exciting to see which game will take Game of the Year, right? The big award, right, that everyone's waiting to see. And this was an incredible year for games. Like, honestly, it could go down. It's a toss up, right? There's been so many great games. Now, like I said, I'm gonna talk about my opinion, my thoughts on these games, what I've played, what I haven't played, my personal picks, but then I'll be a realist and say what I predict will win, just by looking at, in the past, what kind of games have won at this show and this award. But yeah, I figured we react to the nominees together and go from there. Give you my thoughts as I go. But before we get started, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any more of these future uploads. And if you enjoyed today's videos, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment if you wish to do so. And yeah, without further ado, enjoy the video. All right, so let's get started. Let's see. So hopefully this website actually works, because apparently this website was struggling and was really like unresponsive. A lot of people like kind of flooded this website, so it was really slow. The voting wasn't even working properly, so hopefully it works now. Best esports team. I'll be honest with you guys. I could honestly care less about this. I don't give a damn about esports. I'm not an esports person. I don't know. I don't care. We'll just do next. Best esports athlete. I don't know any of these people. Again, I'm not an esports person. Let's just keep it rolling. Best esports game. Not an esports person. Content creator of the year. Okay. Now, the birth beat. Okay, so obviously, I don't know all of these people, but I do know the big names like Kai Cenat, Moist Critical, and the Bird's Peanut. The other two, I don't know so much. I don't want to be biased. I don't want to, play favorites here. I think the ones that I do know are all deserving of this award. So just to be, on good terms with everybody here, I'm just gonna withdraw my vote respectfully. I ain't trying to I ain't trying to catch no flack here, bro. I ain't trying to start no drama. So, okay, most anticipated game. Finally, we're getting into some games, okay? This is what y'all came to see. Let me move my shit here. There you go. Okay. So that y'all can see like what it says here. Okay. Most anticipated game. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. Everyone and their grandmother knows which game will take this award. Right? And look, GTA 6 is definitely not going to win this. Are you crazy? It's obviously going to go to Marvel's Wolverine. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just play it. I'm just playing, guys. They'll come after me, alright? Pause. But, look, my pick, and you guys already know what I'm going to vote for in this category, okay? Those of you who know me know that I am a die-hard Resident Evil fan. And I am over the moon. Out of all of these games you're seeing right now in front of you, out of all of these games, the one game that has me on edge, balls to the wall, nutting constantly, orgasming, moaning in your ear, is Resident Evil Requiem. I just cannot wait for this game. Okay? Simple. Like, I just can't wait. But I am also excited for 007 First Light, which is also a game that I am very much looking forward to. That comes out, I believe, right at the month after Resident Evil Requiem in March next year. Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't know if I'll be picking that up on console or PC. I really don't know. Because on console, I'm hearing that it's going to run at 30 FPS. And I don't know how I feel about that. And obviously, it's going to be the biggest event in gaming of all time when this game drops, right? It's going to grab the industry by its balls, literally. And the whole world will stop functioning the day this game comes out. Marvel's Wolverine. I've said this before and I'll say it again, and this is a bit of a hot take, so just bear with me, alright? And by the way, you will hear a lot of my opinions in this video, and please, for the love of God, if you're going to comment, please be respectful, be civilized, no hateful comments, alright? Be constructive, alright? Be educated, be civil, okay? Don't let your emotions get the better of you. If you're going to share your opinions, by all means, please do so, as I would love to hear your thoughts and your predictions in the comments. But please don't get into heated arguments and into fights, and no hateful comments. Thank you. Alright, but Marvel's Wolverine, I feel like Insomniac is becoming a Marvel machine, basically. They've essentially become Marvel's guinea pig. And it's a shame because we're probably not going to get unique IPs from them anymore for the foreseeable future. You can kiss your Ratchet and Clank goodbye. You can kiss your Resistance Comeback goodbye. You can kiss your Sunset Overdrive or whatever kind of remake they had in the works goodbye. You can kiss any new IP that you were hoping to see from them goodbye. Because now Marvel is on their nuts now, and now they can only pump out Spider-Man games or Wolverine games for the foreseeable future, or that spin-off Venom game, which makes me want to throw up because they've just become a Marvel machine, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think Insomniac is too talented of a studio for their talents to be spent only and only on Marvel games. Those are my 2 cents, though. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments. Witcher 4, again, I'm not into Witcher. I love CD Projekt Red. I love and played the heck out of Cyberpunk 2077. I think Cyberpunk is one of the greatest, it is the greatest comeback story in all of gaming. But I never really got into The Witcher. I'll be honest. So, hard for me to vote for something that I'm not into. So this is why Resident Evil Requiem gets my vote for most anticipated game. Next category. Why are we going backwards? What the hell? Okay, no. Best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. This doesn't really have to do anything with games, to be honest. I could honestly care less about this category. I haven't watched any of these. So let's just move on. Best multiplayer. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. Okay, look. You guys already know. The live service game, the multiplayer game that I've been playing the most as of late has been Battlefield 6. I've been very vocal about it on this channel, and I'm still playing the heck out of it. I love Battlefield 6 multiplayer. Okay? It's a two. What the fuck am I saying? I can't even talk. It's a true return to form for the franchise. It's a love letter to OG Battlefield fans, but also welcoming to newcomers as well. And it really captures that essence that Battlefield 3 and 4 had. You know what I mean? So, I love Battlefield 6. I would vote for Battlefield 6. But which game will I think will win best multiplayer? I think it's going to be Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, the amount of buzz this game has been generating over the past like month is ever since it came out. I don't even know when it came out, but ever since it came out, it just generated so much buzz, and it's been the talk of the town. Everyone and their grandmother's been playing it. It's I've heard nothing but great things about it. And look, I'm not into extraction shooters personally, but I'm not gonna knock the game. I think Arc Raiders deserves this and will win this. That is my prediction. It will win best multiplayer. Elden Ring Night Rain. I'm not an Elden Ring person. Never played. I'm not a Souls-like person at all. So I can't really speak too much on that. Peak. I know what Peak is. I've been living under a rock. But is it really best multiplayer worthy? I don't know about that. Split Fiction. I know it's a co-op game by Hazelight, right? The people who brought you It Takes Two, A Way Out, and it's the game made by the Joseph Ferris Fuck the Oscars, right? But I think the numbers don't lie. Look at the numbers, and the numbers will tell you that Arc Raiders has been dominating the multiplayer genre as of late. So, my prediction, Arc Raiders is going to win. My personal pick, Battlefield 6. So let's vote for Battlefield 6. Next category. Now, why are we going backwards? Best sports and racing. I don't play EA Sports FC. I haven't played F1. Mario Kart World is the only game I've played out of all these games. I've heard good things about Sonic Racing. I've heard good things about Rematch, Slow Clap, which are the people who made Sifu, right? Absolve. Right? Absolve? Yeah, I think so. But Mario Kart World, I cannot, in good conscience, in my right mind, give my vote to Mario Kart World because of all the flack this game has gotten and how much worse this game has gotten with the questionable decisions made by Nintendo on Mario Kart World. Like, the Nintendo fans got their pitchforks out because apparently they've been pushing out updates. I haven't been keeping track of everything exactly that's been going on with Mario Kart World, but all I do know is that people are not happy with the state of Mario Kart World. And honestly, there's really not a lot of content outside of the free roam, which throws you in an open world that kind of feels empty and lackluster, to say the least, and underwhelming. And once you get through the races and you start unlocking a lot of the content, then you suddenly start to see that and realize that, wow, like, this game doesn't really have a lot of content. I feel like they just tacked it on as a selling point, as a system seller for Nintendo Switch 2, right? It was a launch title. They needed a launch title, like, ASAP. So they just whipped this up together and be like, here you go, launch title, Nintendo Switch 2, go buy it. So, best sports racing game, I can't vote for any of these. Best sim and strategy, I don't play strategy games. Next. Best family, for the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. Okay, look. The only games I've played in this list are Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I'm going to have to go with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Next category. Okay. Now, this category, I am not a fighting game person. I will leave the Justin Wongs of the world, the Maximilian Dudes of the world, to fight over this. Okay, this is not my area of expertise at all. I've played fighting games, but as a casual. I only play fighting games for the story and the single player modes. I don't play these competitively, so I wouldn't know any better. I am really not the person for fighting games. So I will leave the pros to decide on this. Okay? Okay, best RPG. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. I'm currently playing through the Outer Worlds 2, by the way. Solid game from what I've seen from reviews, but also from what I've played, from what little I've played of the game. Monster Hunter Wilds, look, I've played the game. I got the game, I think, a month after it came out. It had, like, it was on it was the talk of the town when it came out, right? Everyone and their grandmother was on it, and it was buzzing, it was hype, it was fun. But after a while, once you reach the end game, it's kind of like, okay, like, it's kind of getting redundant, So, I feel like my personal pick, my vote wouldn't really go to Monster Hunter Wilds. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I'm also playing through right now. I haven't finished it. I'm still very early on in the game, but I've heard good things, and that's why I actually decided to pick the game up. I'm enjoying it so far, but I am nowhere near close to finishing it. So, I can't really vote for something that I haven't finished, right? Avowed, I heard good things as well. It's by Obsidian, right? Same people who made Outer Worlds 2 and Fallout New Vegas. But, again, I haven't played it. I don't know too much about it. The only game that I've played from start to finish in this category is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So my vote will go to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Because this game is essentially also like a JRPG in the sense that it's very focused on, like, turn-based. I mean, the whole game's combat is turn-based, so it borrows a lot of elements from JRPGs like Final Fantasy and Persona. That is like music to my ears. I love the Persona games so much. So My vote is going to go to Clair Obscure Expedition 33. Okay. Bravo. Okay. Let's go view all categories. Best action adventure. For the best action adventure game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Okay. This is tough. Wow, these games are all deserving. I wouldn't be mad if either one of these games won this award. I'm just going to point that out right now. The only game I've played from start to finish is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And as in solely as a strictly action adventure game, I can confidently say that Indiana Jones was an absolute treat. That game was like the perfect action adventure game that you can just get lost in the story and the cinematic storytelling and just in the game, in the gameplay of Indiana Jones, right? It really makes you feel, I know it sounds cliche as fuck, but it really made you feel like Indiana Jones, especially the hand-to-hand combat. My God. So my pick would be Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. But Split Fiction, I think, equally deserves it. Hollow Knight Silk Song deserves it. Ghost of Yotei, I haven't played that either. But I heard good things. I don't know if people are saying it's better than Tsushima or not. I have played Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't really picked up Ghost of Yotei. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I don't know how much combat there is in Death Stranding. I know Death Stranding is not really known for its combat. But I think my vote would be Indiana Jones. As far as which award will win this, realistically, though, I think I have to go with the one game, or I think in this category, realistically, Hollow Knight Silk Song will win this category. That's my prediction. But my personal pick is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Bravo. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. Okay. Wow. These are some solid nominees for best action game. Wow. Again, this can go either way. Okay? But why is Battlefield 6 here? The campaign, I've heard, is absolute dog shit. Why is Battlefield 6 here? Anyway, I don't know what to make of that. Look, I don't know why Battlefield 6 is here. Doom the Dark Ages, that the whole franchise is known for its over-the-top action. So I'm not surprised that it's here. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I didn't play it. I never heard of it, but I heard like that it's pretty good. I don't know too much about it though. Ninja Gaiden 4, again, like it's very like frantic, fast-paced, visceral combat, unforgiving difficulty. But I heard good things about the gameplay. Hades 2 though, because this is the only game that is in the Game of the Year category, I think what I predict will win, and my personal pick as well would be Hades 2 in this category. Even though I haven't played it, but I mean just look at this game's reception, right? Like this game got critical acclaim across the board, just like its predecessor did. So I gotta go with Hades 2. Okay. Best VR AR, don't care. Best mobile game, don't care. Best debut indie game. Oh my goodness, Dispatch. So, Dispatch is a game that is really like hot on my radar. I want to play it. It's on my list of games that I want to play. I haven't picked it up yet just because I have too many games to catch up on. I have quite the backlog that I'm working on through, but man, Dispatch, I've been waiting for a Telltale style story-driven game like that takes me back to the good old days of Telltale. And as someone who's a fan of The Wolf Among Us, the Walking Dead series by Telltale, Tales from the Borderlands, right? I have been clamoring, I've been dying to play a game like that. And now we got one in Dispatch, and the reviews have been absolutely phenomenal. Oh man, I cannot wait to play this. I cannot wait to pick this up. I think my vote is going to go to Dispatch. But realistically, let's be real, guys. Like, Claire Obscure is going to win this. Like, this award show, this game award show will be the Claire Obscure show. It might end up sweeping all the awards that it's nominated in. I kid you not. It could very well happen. But my vote goes to Dispatch. All right. Okay. Who we got next? Best independent game. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. So a bit similar to the previous category, but not really. Again, Expedition 33 is here. Hades 2 is here. Hollow Knight Silksong is here. That changes things. Because now all three of these games are Game of the Year nominees as well. Right? I heard great things about Absolem. I heard it's a really fun, really engaging, and compelling, I think, beat 'em up roguelite. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I heard Blueprints was fantastic. It's a puzzler roguelite. Ball X Pit, I don't know too much about this game. But if it's here, then it must be pretty damn good. And then we got the big three, right? We got the big three of the year. Look, I love Expedition 33, no disrespect, but the fan in me, okay, doesn't want this show to be a Claire Obscure Expedition 33 sweep award, where every single nominee every single award that it got nominated in, it sweeps, right? That's going to be boring. It's not exciting. It's not interesting, right? I don't think everyone wants that. So to make things interesting, right? I'm gonna try my absolute best here in this video to be as objective as possible when it comes to my personal vote. However, which game do I think has the best chance to win here? I think it's gonna be Hollow Knight Silksong for best independent game. Like, they took 7 years, right? 7 years to make this game, if I'm not mistaken. And they had no publisher breathing down their necks, right? They had all the time in the world, no pressure in the world. And they said that the reason why they took so long is because they had so much fun developing the game that they wanted to take so long, because they were having way too much fun making the game, which is pretty wild, but pretty awesome at the same time. So I think my prediction and my personal pick in this category, I'm trying to be as objective and unbiased as possible, but I'm gonna have to give it to Hollow Knight Silksong. All right, next category. Best community support. Okay, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates patches. Okay, so it's like which games got the most amount of support, of post-launch support, right? Whether it's through updates or seasonal events and whatnot, right? Content drops. Okay. Ooh. Guys, every time I see Baldur's Gate 3, I get a boner. This game is a generational, transcending game. It is the Michael Jordan of this generation. For those of you who have not played Baldur's Gate 3, you're really missing out. My freaking goodness. Baldur's Gate 3 is, I'll just come out and say it, it's the greatest game of this generation. And I don't think I've ever played a game ever before that has had this much amount of content, of decision making, of player agency and freedom, and branching narrative as big and as massive as Baldur's Gate 3, and as content rich as Baldur's Gate 3. And the voice acting, every single character you meet and interact with in this game is voiced. And it's unique voices, by the way. It's memorable character performances. It ain't for nothing that this game won Game of the Year it came out, and that the actor for Astarion, Neil Newbon, won Best Performance. Right? This game is nothing short of extraordinary. And I freaking love Baldur's Gate 3. But I have to be objective. Final Fantasy, I'm going to keep it a $120 with you guys. I'm not a Final Fantasy person. Okay? I'm not into Final Fantasy. It's not my cup of tea. I did play, what was it? Final Fantasy Remake, Part 1. That's about it. Okay? My experience, my knowledge about Final Fantasy is null. Alright? I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. Fortnite here has a really, really strong, compelling case, and here's why. They just came out with quite possibly one of the biggest content drops and updates and overhauls that the game has had in recent memory. They just came out with a massive Simpsons collaboration that not only added like a bunch of Simpsons skins, if I'm not mistaken, but they'd overhauled the parts, I think parts of the map, not the entire map. Or maybe it's the entire map. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. But they literally added parts of Simpsons, like the city, into the Battle Royale map. And the response and reception has been incredible. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. And I'm not a Fortnite guy. I don't like Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. There's so millions of other games I'd rather play than Fortnite. But I gotta give the game its flowers. Right? You can't hate. Can't hate. And there will be no disrespect here. So it has a strong case. Helldivers 2, again. Arrowhead's been very consistent with content updates. They had the Halo ODST collaboration, which was fucking awesome. Where they not only added Halo weapons and skins, but you were also able to fight in parts of Mombasa, right? The location that you fight in ODST. And you were able to play the game, I think, in first person, which made it feel even more like Halo, which was just Just chef's kiss. Really well done. Gotta give them their props. And then No Man's Sky, which I think seems to always be nominated every single year in this category, but for good reason. This game just is the perfect example of, and again, another great comeback story, just like Cyberpunk 2077. No Man's Sky, like, from the state of the game back when it launched to where the game is now, is nothing short of extraordinary. Like, and they're still updating the game so many years later. That's worth commending, in my opinion. So man, this is a tough pick. Look, I love Baldur's Gate, but I can't like the updates that they've had have been like, okay, we got a new, like, they did have that massive subclass update that added like 8 new subclasses in the game, which really changed the things and really changed the meta. But man, I gotta. Oof. Alright. Y'all will have to forgive me. But it's hard to stay objective and unbiased in this category because Baldur's Gate 3 holds a special place in my heart. But I gotta give it to Baldur's Gate 3. But I think my prediction is that I think Fortnite will probably win this award. That is my prediction. But my personal pick is Baldur's Gate 3. Next up, best ongoing. So this is like live service, right? Awarded to a game for outstanding development for ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Okay, so live service. Okay, yeah, I mean, okay, now we got Marvel Rivals in here. No Man's Sky, Helldivers 2, Fortnite. Listen, as we just talked about for the previous category, I think Fortnite is not only going to win the other category that we just voted for, but it's going to win this one for sure. Like, now that Baldur's Gate 3 is out of the picture, I think I would even vote for Fortnite. And I'm not even a Fortnite person. But I think it just deserves it, right? I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to spread the love equally, you know what I mean? To be as objective and unbiased as possible. So I'm going to go with Fortnite. But I don't like Fortnite. Don't get it twisted. Games for Impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I'll be honest with you guys. I've played none of these games except for South of Midnight through Game Pass. So logically, I'm going to vote for the one game that I have played from start to finish. That is South of Midnight. I don't have too much to say about it, honestly. It was a solid experience. The game is not without its flaws, but I thought I really liked the stop motion style animation that they had going on. Really reminded me of like Into the Spider-Verse movies and how that animation's been done. I enjoyed the game for what it was. I really did. And there's a compelling narrative here as well, for players to enjoy. But the combat felt like pretty generic and basic. Let's be honest. But solid experience. I enjoyed my time with it. Not bad. Innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Okay. Again, I've played none of these games except for South of Midnight. So I don't know how accessible these other games are. So my vote goes for South of Midnight, though. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Now, as an actor myself, this is the category that we have to talk about, okay? Let me get some water here, some hydration. So, man, these are all great actors and all deserving of winning this award. Oh man, this is tough, guys. This is such a toss-up between all these incredible actors. Look, I got major respect for these actors and just the way their acting range was really tested. You know what I mean? Ben Starr as Verso in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but just, man, he was my favorite character. His character was my favorite in the entire game. And his performance, I think Ben Starr's performance in Expedition 33, I don't think his acting skills have never been put to the test more than this game. His acting range was truly tested, and man, he delivered and knocked it out of the park with his performance. Incredible performance. I really enjoyed his character and the way he portrayed Verso. And by the way, guys, being an actor doesn't just, or a voiceover actor doesn't mean how many voices you can do, right? Or being able to put on a voice. It's more about, especially in video game acting, which is going for a more grounded performance. Video game acting is also about not just like how many voices you can do. It's not always just about that. It's always about, like, it's more about like, do I believe that you went through this through your lines of dialogue, right? Do I believe you? Do you sound believable and compelling? Are you putting forth a compelling performance? And how are you portraying this character? Am I able to relate with your character? Are you able to make me fall in love with your character because through your performance, right? Can I relate to you? Can I empathize? Can I sympathize? Can I simp for your character? But, that's what makes a strong performance in games, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So, Ben Starr knocked it out of the park. Charlie Cox as Gustav. Oh man, he's very much deserving of it as well. I'm really torn here, guys. Ghost of Yotei, this is the only nominee that I'm unsure about, that I have question marks about, because I haven't played Ghost of Yotei, so I can't really vote for Erika Ishii. So, yeah, ain't got too much to say about that. But Jennifer English as Mael, and she, by the way, she also voices Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3. Absolutely amazing performance there as well. But as Mael, I knew she sounded familiar. I knew her voice sounded familiar. And then I remembered, why does she sound... I asked myself, like, why does she sound so much like Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3? And that's because it is the same actress. So Jennifer English is just incredible. And I really, she was introduced to me in Baldur's Gate 3. And ever since then, I knew, yeah, she's got acting chops. Like, she's a phenomenal actress. Konatsu Katu. I'm currently playing through Silent Hill F, and I've definitely enjoyed watching Konatsu stream her some Silent Hill F, and watching her play through this fucking terrifying game. It's been quite entertaining, and the fact that she's never touched a controller and she's still streaming it in front of thousands of people, and how she went viral just streaming the game that she's in, that she plays the main character in, is pretty awesome and wholesome. Um, and her performance in Silent Hill F, like she damn near lost her sanity, like, you know, performing or playing, you know, what's her name? God damn, what I'm blanking. Hinako, yes. Um, in Silent Hill F. And from what I've played, I'm not done with the game just yet, but from what I've played, she is absolutely amazing as Hinako. She also deserves this award. And then we got Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Listen, say what you want about Troy Baker. Yeah, he gets nominated every single year. He's in every single video game, it feels like. But one thing we cannot deny is that he was absolutely incredible as Indiana Jones. His Indiana Jones voice and take and interpretation and performance, his portrayal of the character, like felt like I was watching Harrison Ford. Like I was listening to Harrison Ford's voice. That's how good it was. And I've played Indiana Jones from start to finish, and Troy Baker really did a fantastic job as Indiana Jones, so he also deserves this award. My God, this is so frustrating because I'm like, who do I vote for? Oh God. Look, my prediction is it's probably going to go to one of the Expedition 33 actors. Now, which one is beyond me, right? Your guess is as good as mine. It's a toss-up, honestly. Jennifer English was incredible as Mile. Charlie Cox was amazing as Gustav, and Ben Starr was just fantastic as Verso. But because Verso is my favorite character in the game, I have to go with my boy Ben Starr. So that would be my personal pick. And I think that would be my prediction as well. So I'm going to go with Ben Starr. All right. Next. Best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. By the way, if you made it this far in the video and you're still watching, first of all, thank you so much. Big thumbs up. Thank you so much. And if you're still here and you're still enjoying the video, and if you haven't already, leave a like. If you wish to do so, leave a comment. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's a good way for you to stay updated regarding any future uploads. So, thank you. So, best audio design. Okay, Battlefield 6 is up here. I get it. I've been playing the fuck out of the game, and that game has impeccable sound design. Clear Obscure Expedition 33. In terms of audio design, look, you want to talk music? I'm with you. But in terms of audio design, I can't really wrap my mind around like what part of Expedition 33 blew me away in terms of audio design. I don't know. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I haven't played it. Can't say much about that, unfortunately. Ghost of GOTY, same thing. Haven't played it. Silent Hill F, though. I am currently playing through it, and man, the audio design is so like this is such an atmospheric and terrifying game. And the sound, the audio design is what adds to the horror of the game. I would love to give this to Battlefield 6, but I think in this case, me just trying to be as objective and fair and unbiased as possible, I have to give it to Silent Hill F. As far as my prediction, though, I think Silent Hill F will also has a good chance of winning this category. Really, realistically, yeah. Best score in music for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Okay, this is pretty easy for me. I played Expedition 33 from start to finish, and let me tell you, I can confidently say that Expedition 33's music will make you nut in your pants. It will make you combust. It will make you bust. That's how good it is. I gotta go with Expedition 33. End of story. Moving on. Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Damn. Okay, this best fart direction could go in any direction. Like in any direction, bro. Okay. Look. Hollow Knight Silksong deserves it. Hades 2 deserves it. Ghost of Yotei I haven't played. Death Stranding 2 I haven't played. But for those of you who have played those two games, let me know in the comments if y'all think these games are deserving as well. Let me know. Sound off in the comments, but be respectful. Look, for a game that's about painters, painting, and artists, right? I think it's only fitting that Expedition 33 wins this category. So, quite literally, right? It's literally a game about painters painting. So, I gotta go with Expedition 33 as the best fart direction. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in the game. Now we're getting to the juicy stuff. Pause. Okay. I'm working through Silent Hill F. So unfortunately, I don't know the whole narrative of the game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I'm working through the game as well. I'm very early on in the game. But unfortunately, because I haven't finished it, I don't know too much about the narrative yet. Ghost of Yotei, haven't played. Death Stranding 2, haven't played. I gotta give this to Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and I think Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has the best shot of winning this award category, realistically. I gotta go with Expedition 33. Expedition 33 and its narrative is the reason why people are still talking about the game today. So, you want to know why Expedition 33 did so well critically? It's because of its narrative. So, that's my vote, and I think that's ultimately going to, my prediction is that it's going to realistically win this award category as well. Best game direction awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Okay. Look, all these games are fantastic. They all deserve it, I'm sure. But my personal pick, and again, realistically speaking, my prediction as well is that Expedition 33 is going to take this. Okay? Because you have to consider these things, all right? You have to consider these factors. Expedition 33 I think had something around 30 something developers, if I'm not mistaken. a very, very small team. All you need to know is that a very, very small team of developers made this game. To make this game in such a short amount of time on a deadline with so little people, right? And then to see the game do as well as it did, that's game direction. That's the director being on top of his shit and doing his job. So I gotta give props. I gotta give the game its flowers. I gotta give the director credit where credit is due. I gotta go with Clair Obscure Expedition 33. Hands down. Bravo. And finally, we have come to Game of the Year. The most important award of the show. The award that everyone and their mama will be waiting for. And the reason why a lot of people will be sticking around to the end of this show. The one award that Jeff Keighley always saves for the very last one. The best for last. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. You know, I've heard that the Game Awards show likes to give the Game of the Year award to the game that will have the best narrative. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't mean best narrative as in which game has the best story. I'm just saying best narrative as in, what I mean by that is, which game will have the best narrative surrounding it in the industry? Which game will turn heads, which game turned heads and made people go, wow, this is what the standard of video games should be. This is what every publisher and developer should strive to be. This is the kind of game that everyone should try to make. This game is a good example setter. That's what I've heard. And that's the philosophy behind which game tends to win Game of the Year at this award show. Right? And I've also heard that fan voting only accounts for like 10% of the votes. So if you think your vote is going to influence and, tip the scales or whatever, it's really not. Because I think who gets the final say in these votes, a large part of those votes come from games journalists and people like that, only a select few people, I think, and their vote obviously holds more weight than your single fan vote. So that's what I've heard. Now, look, all these games, if any of these games won Game of the Year, I wouldn't be mad. These games are all deserving. Okay? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, said it before, I'll say it again. I'm playing through it, I'm loving every second of it, but I haven't finished it yet. So I can't really vote for it. Hollow Knight Silksong, I think, has a really, really good chance, phenomenal chance of winning this award. Because if you think about it, if it won Game of the Year award, how awesome of a story would that be, right? An indie game that took 7 years to make, only developed by a few people, and did as well as it did. I think that would be one heck of a story that people will talk about for years to come. Hades 2, again, indie title, right? Roguelite. First entry in the franchise was critically acclaimed, and this one, I heard it's even better, right? So I wouldn't be mad if Hades 2 won. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which, to my surprise, much to my surprise, hasn't been really nominated that much in a lot of these categories, as much as I thought it'd be. But Donkey Kong Bonanza, I've played a bit of it, and let me tell you, like, smashing and breaking things has never felt more satisfying in a video game than Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, the game is just so engaging and compelling. And it is a very, very charming platformer, right? Classic Nintendo staple, right? Um, it has Nintendo's signature and DNA written all over it, and it very much deserves to be up here with these games. Now, a lot of other games, you could argue were snubbed, right? Some people will say, "Oh, where's Silent Hill F? Where's Ghost of Yotei? No Split Fiction, right?" Um, among just to name a few, among many other games, but it's tough, man. This year, the Game Awards are a bloodbath. Like, there had to be sacrifices had to be made. All right, but you have to remember, guys. At the end of the day, it's subjective, right? These award shows don't let it like affect you, or like don't let it dictate how you like what your game of the year is. Don't let it influence you, and just don't let it be the and all be all, for games, right? If your game doesn't win, if any of these, a lot of these games will win game of the year because there can only be one winner, right? But just because a game doesn't win game of the year award, or just because a game isn't even nominated for game of the year, doesn't mean that it's a bad game, guys. Okay? Like, I know people who think Silent Hill F is their game of the year, and that's totally fine. It's subjective at the end of the day, right? It's personal preference. All right? But as far as my opinion goes, look, Death Stranding 2, haven't played it. I'm sure it deserves to be up here, though. I know what Kojima, how much of a pioneer he is, how talented he is, right? His greatness, his ingenuity just speaks for itself, right? So I'm sure it deserves to be up here. But Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is my personal game of the year, and I think it is the one game that will win game of the year. Because think about what kind of story narrative it's gonna have if it wins. People are gonna say, "Wow, this game that is not even considered a AAA game, right? Doesn't even have the backing of a AAA publisher. This guy left Ubisoft to go found his own studio in France and led a team of a handful of developers and literally put out this game that, quite honestly, put Ubisoft, the entire Ubisoft company, to shame. And not just that, but is a love letter to JRPG fans as well. And its story and its narrative was, quite honestly, the most powerful and impactful story of this whole entire year. It's hard for me to talk about more about this game without spoiling it, so I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, my vote and my prediction is that Clair Obscure Expedition 33 will win Game of the Year. Bravo. All right. And that's going to do it, guys. So, those were my predictions and my personal picks for the Game Awards 2025. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to these nominations as well as my votes and my predictions. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment if you wish to do so, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for more videos like this. And yeah, I cannot wait to watch the Game Awards. I have yet to decide if I'm going to stream that or if I'm going to just not stream it and watch it off stream. I don't know yet. I'll have to sit on it and think on it. But yeah, I cannot wait for the Game Awards. It's actually like pretty soon, around the corner actually, which is crazy. And I cannot wait to see not only who wins some of these awards, but also what kind of world premieres and reveals does Jeff Keighley have planned for us. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm gonna sign off. You guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, much love, and peace out, y'all.